but not excessively, and will eat very little on the day of a race. They'll have a very light breakfast. They don't want to eat at all in 3 hours or so before. So we're going down to the start for the next race, which is the men's fours. And in lane 1, Slovenia, this 4, there or thereabouts, got into the final with a finishing sprint in a great race, and don't be misled by their lane 1 position. Lane 2, Netherlands. Lane 3, we have New Zealanders, the fast finishers of this regatta. 7th in the world last year in the final, in a curious final where we had 7-boat final due to a mishap in the semis. It was a
dead heat, wasn't it?
It was a dead heat, but I mean a mishap in the sense they couldn't separate them. Right. Lane 4, Great Britain, reigning world champions. Spot a bother earlier in the season when Alex Partridge, the 3-man, 2 from the bottom of your picture there, 3 from the bows. He was out and they lost in Lucerne. So next, lane 5, France. Dorian Mortelet there in the stroke seat. And they finished devastatingly fast and very close to Great Britain in the semi-final. And out in lane 6, the other qualifiers from that final, Carlo Bonatti, Alessio Sartori, Niccolo Bornati and Lorenzo Carboncini for Italy. A lot of experience in that boat. Carlo Bonatti, 35 years old and stretching towards the end of his career, one feels. Focus now on Great Britain.
Who look very tense, by the way. They look not very happy, this British crew. They've been put under a lot of pressure recently at the tail end of the season, something they're not really used to. It's going to be very interesting to see how they respond to that. Words from Peter Reed's father yesterday was that they are feeling relaxed, feeling confident, but those pictures tell a somewhat different story.
So, now, this British crew, led by Hodge, they're very strong, likes to use that power to get in front, and they don't really know how to race from behind at all well compared to their normal style, which is to be a length up at 500 and then let the field do what it likes behind them.
Absolutely, and it's been interesting all the way through this regatta. They've been paired with the French crew, who are, as you can see, just close to the picture there in lane 5, who are leading now by a canvas. They are very quick starters and very quick finishers, even from way back in the junior days, striking 43.5 strokes a minute, which isn't excessively high, but it is still high at 250 metres gone.
250 would want to be, well, I would want to be reaching out and settling down by now. So that fast French start, but it hasn't done them an awful lot of good, because indeed Britain now have come up to the lead, and those 2 crews are canvas out on the field, and Britain now moving every stroke on France.
Looks like a pretty tightly packed field there. Wouldn't even write off the Italians on the near side. They were fantastic in their semi-final. 41 strokes a minute there from Great Britain. Starting to really power on now as they come up to 500 metres.
In the stroke seat, bearded and very long hair, long blonde hair. Andrew Triggs Hodge, according to the programme, but to everybody known as Hodge. And he's the one who really does give this crew its rhythm. If he wasn't there, the whole thing would fall apart.
It's the Dutch on the far side who are starting to move seemingly on their base pace. It's always, it's interesting when you get to sort of 300 metres, 400 metres, because that's pretty much just your start. After that, when you start settling down into your rhythm, if a crew starts moving there, it is very, very dangerous. It's a nervy time. If you're in a boat, you see just a crew starting to move, because that's their base pace, and that's what's going to take them over the majority of the course.
In its career, this British 4 has always been a length up at this point in the race. They're 650 metres gone. They would expect to be a length up, and they're not. And they have France, known fast finishers on one side. They've got New Zealand, known fast finishers on the other side. This is trouble. This is
an extremely interesting race how this is panning out. Even Slovenia on the far side also now going with the Dutch and starting to make a move. But comments about the British 4, they had apparently very pleased with the second 1,000 of their heat, and then very pleased with the first 1,000 of their semi. And we're just really looking to kind of put those two together, and commented about using super glue. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they've managed to get out the blocks fast enough. The French here in picture.
Dorian Mortelet there, not a big man. But looking very comfortable.
But they're very young. They're very young.
Very young.
These guys all won gold medals in the 2000 Junior World Championships. So they're only 24 years old, but coming through, it's the Dutch. We've got a slim lead over Slovenia in second. Great Britain back in third, and France, Italy and New Zealand, nothing much to show between any of them, really.
This race is starting now. We've seen nothing yet. Hodge now, you can see the three in the middle there, Alex Partridge, Reed and Williams really heaving it on, but it's Holland actually pushing out a canvas in front, and on the near side, Italy have come up and taken France.
This is going to be an absolutely fantastic session. Commenting there just through the 1,000 metres, this is really when the race starts again. The awesome foursome from Australia, massively successful, always said just get to 1,000 and then we really start moving on. But here the Dutch, they've taken this race from about 500 metres into it, and they've started accelerating through, striking 38 strokes a minute. There in the caption.
38 strokes a minute in the caption, but that's easier than most of the other crews. Most of them are 39 or 40 even. And New Zealand have now come up and taken Great Britain. France, so shining in the semi-final with their extraordinary sprinting finish, now back in 6th place. But we've got 5 crews across the course, with on the far side Slovenia now in silver medal position, hanging on to the Netherlands. And it's this crew from Italy in lane 6, closest to camera, and they're the ones who are setting the challenge to Holland, but Holland still in the lead.
Experienced racers there, Carlin Monati in the bow seat, Carboncini in the stroke seat. They were part of the 4 that really challenged Redgrave at Sydney, and there, as you can see, it's Netherlands through the line first, New Zealand second, but it was very, very tight. I think the Italians right up there.
World champions in 4th, world champions in 5th place, but nevertheless absolutely not out of it. So focus now on New Zealand, as we really want to see the whole picture, and we want to know. So the Italians coming up, and it could be that the Italians have already taken the Netherlands. We are level with the races. The camera car is level with the races, and it's Italy in front. It's Holland in 2nd place, and it's New Zealand in bronze medal position. Great Britain and Slovenia locked for 4th and 5th, and the only crew out of it at the moment is France.
And here we go, coming into the last 250 metres. It's by a shade. The Netherlands from Italy on this near side. Slovenia and New Zealand absolutely not out of it. New Zealand starting to make a charge now, but it's Netherlands and Italy absolutely stroke for stroke.
They're changing the lead.
The Italians starting to move now though. Carboncini, Monati in that bow seat, and they've squeezed out to a couple of feet.
They've got it. They absolutely look at the faces. They really think they've got it. And New Zealand are going to take Holland for 2nd place, unless New Zealand take the Italians.
New Zealand coming through now. I think they're going to take the Italians. New Zealand now in the lead, a couple of inches from Italy on this near side, and this is going to be
46 and a half from New Zealand, and they've got their bows in front. It's going to be Italy in 2nd place, and Holland fading by the stroke in 3rd, Great Britain in 4th. But it is
on the line,
New Zealand through the line, Italy in 2nd place, Holland in 3rd, Great Britain 4th crossing now, France in 5th, and Slovenia on the far side, right up there until the very end, to come back in 6th place. But look at the congratulations in that New Zealand crew. That's not exhaustion that makes the 3-man Eric Murray lie back. It's celebration with his partner. That is a fantastic result from them. They weren't in front until
and this is a new crew. And this is a new crew, and it's only really the second combination, because I think Bridgewater and Swaddle are kind of selected first from the New Zealand team. This 4 being put together, it's a bit of a mixed match of some of the guys who are from the 4 in Athens, a couple of guys who are new, and they've really started moving it on. Hamish Bond in that stroke seat. Absolutely fantastic job.
When they took Mahé Drysdale out of the Athens 4 and put him in the single and he won it, you'd think there was nothing left in the 4. Hey presto, they're world champions. Outstanding result by that New Zealand crew. And I suspect they were in front for 2 strokes or 3 strokes of the entire race.
And that's it. But Italy, brave challenge, almost got that goal to add to the silver that some of those guys won in the 8th last year. But also, again, not ones to discount. Carboncini, Monati, fantastic races.
Well, there's a bit of age in there. There's nobody younger than Nicola Monati at 27, and the others are all in their 30s. So that's
but fantastic pedigree, though.
Fantastic pedigree. But there we are, picking up on New Zealand. Hamish Bond in the stroke seat, Eric Murray at 3, James Dallinger at 2, and Carl Meyer in the bow seat. Crossing through the line, looking across. You saw Meyer in the white cap there look across, and he knew how much they'd got it by, but all in the last few strokes.